main objective and the goal, of course, was to assist the Iraqi people and do something good. But things change when your friends start dying. I mean, I lost 8 friends in 6 days. Both Humvees were blown up. They were all blown to thousands of unrecognizable pieces.
Soldiers are often overwhelmed by the intensity of war, confronted with the deaths of friends and the violence they have to participate in, such that it eventually traumatizes them.
It's like when I was over in Nam, I did heroin. I did heroin because I didn't want to feel what I was doing. I knew exactly what I was doing. I knew what was happening every time I loaded a bomb. I knew where it was going. I knew what was going to happen. And after a while, I got tired of waking up every morning killing people, so I started doing heroin.
As long as there's been war, there has been trauma, pain, and anguish seared into the psyche of the soldier. Nowadays, we call this condition post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD. In the past, it was called shell shock, while the most vivid term of the veteran's true wound comes from the Civil War, soldier's heart.
The main point is controlling one's anger and aggression. And you can certainly go to war and you can defend freedom and democracy and do all of those good things for God and country, but it's the internal reactions to events that will haunt you for the rest of your life.
For the veteran, the ordeal continues indefinitely after combat. Soldiers come home with the expectation of returning to happy, normal lives, but the trauma remanifests as emotional difficulties that undermine attempts at a harmonious life.
We get very desperate when we get depressed, and we are very assured that nobody cares about us at that point, and that we're alone and we're isolated.
It's important, as this emotional turmoil emerges in the vet's psyche, that the veteran isn't just isolated from others, and that he or she learns how to contend with the harsh emotions that can arise.
When I talk to my psychologists and psychiatrists, they say, well, you've got a pattern of hostility. Yeah. You have no idea. Be glad I don't have a gun.
Post-traumatic stress doesn't just afflict the soldier, but also his or her family and friends when the vet acts out or attempts to numb the pain with alcohol or drugs. Symptoms include panic attacks, nightmares, insomnia, hypervigilance, irritability, sudden uncontrollable rage, flashbacks, and withdrawal from others.
But it takes us a while to kind of stumble across that and actually manifest all those nice thoughts that we're having into something that when, like Judy, my partner, comes up, that I don't take her head off.
Yeah.
Because you're so charged up with all this stuff inside of you, and she's coming up and she's touching powder keg and she has no idea.
Yeah, she's in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And that's when you start feeling what in my case, I feel extreme remorse.
A significant percentage of veterans confused and acting out because of untreated post-traumatic stress end up in prison, a further hidden cost of war. The Ratna Peace Initiative, experienced in working with prison inmates, is also involved with veterans in prison. Ratna Peace Initiative provides mindfulness practices for stress reduction and related methods for calming and clarifying the mind, as well as peer support and discussion, giving veterans effective tools for stabilizing their mental experience and opening their hearts, learning to tolerate intense emotional upheavals, and cultivating peace of mind.
The deepest wound I've seen from you guys is your sorrow and compassion for the people that were hurt. That's amazing. I think that's amazing. I mean, that is very human. That is basic goodness. You get put in a situation that is off the charts for human beings to be in. And then you come out of it and you judge yourself by the standards of normal society that you grew up in. And those things don't mix. There has to be some forgiveness for yourself and compassion for yourself and some appreciation of the goodness that's making you hurt.
We can train ourselves through mindfulness techniques to face our own pain and regret with the kind of bravery soldiers bring to a battlefield. Rotten Peace Initiative creates a community of support, compassion, and healing for our wounded warriors.